Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Tonight's class will start with some balancing breath. But before we get into that balancing breath, can you just breathe in through your nose? Big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale out through your mouth. 2 more really simple breaths like that. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Really good. One more time. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. And you can blink your eyes open or keep them closed. You'll take the peace and love fingers of your right hand towards the space between your eyebrows. Place your thumb against your nostril and your ring finger and pinky finger against the opposite nostril. So you're setting your hands up on your face for alternate nostril breathing. And if it gets to be too much, you just breathe normally, release your hand. Otherwise, we're trying to balance the right side and the left side of your body. So the masculine and the feminine energy, the yin and the yang energy. And just push your pointer finger and your middle finger right into the space between your eyebrows. Notice how that space feels. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth wide and exhale. And now plug into your right nostril. Inhale through your left nostril for 3, 2, 1. Plug both nostrils and hold. Exhale through your left nostril for 3, 2, 1. Inhale through your left nostril, 3, 2, 1. Plug both nostrils and hold. Exhale through the right, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 3, 2, 1. Plug your nose and hold. Exhale left, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Keep moving through this alternate nostril breath. Imagining that you're balancing out any disharmony or disagreement beside the right and the left halves of your body. About 30 more seconds here. Really good. The next time you exhale through your left side, that's your yin side, take your hands down onto your thighs, palms facing down this time, and close your eyes. And just like we did before we started that breath work, 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Last one like that. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Keep your eyes closed. Place your hands together at your heart center and push your thumbs in towards your sternum. Lift your sternum in towards your thumbs so you feel that connection between your hands and your heart. Set an intention around the idea of balance. Maybe it's rebalance after your body or your lifestyle has shifted. Maybe it's to let go of something that's throwing you off balance. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Go ahead and place your hands down beside you. Inhale, scoop both arms up. This can be really big. You can reach your fingers high or bend at your elbows and keep them low. And with the exhale, just simply lower your palms to your heart. We'll do this 3 times. Inhale, reach your arms up. You might look up as you connect all of your fingers and your palms. Lower on the exhale. Moving like a wave with your breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, release down. Interlace your fingers here. Interlace your fingers and start to move your wrists around. Just rolling and rocking your wrists. Then turn your palms to face towards me. Push your palms forward. Shrug your shoulders down and back. Pull your belly button in. Take a breath in. Exhale, feel your sit bones on the floor. Now you might opt to stay here. So if you're nursing shoulder injuries, don't come up to full extension. But otherwise, you can lift your arms up, up, up overhead. And when they get up overhead, try to pull your palms apart without letting them actually separate. So you feel the work through the front of the wrists. Good. One more breath in here. Now on the exhale, bend your arms out towards a little goalpost shape. Good. Take your hands onto your shoulders and start to create circles with your elbows. So these slow, mindful movements will serve as the foundation for bigger shapes as you move on. And you have a chance in all of these little poses to learn where your baseline is. So you might hear creaks in your shoulders or feel pain in these small movements, which means switch direction, that it will absolutely show up in bigger movements later. So you know to be kind and compassionate to these places in your body. And take both arms, reach both arms out. Palms are face up. And now drop your fingers down and take your right fingers with your left hand. Start to pull those fingers back by any amount. Drop the shoulder. And you're doing the same thing, just a different way of doing it, stretching out the front line of your arm. Breathe in. And breathe out. You'll do a little flip switch over to the other side. Pull the fingers in. Big breath in. And breathe out. Last thing here, just take your fingers, flick your fingers. You might try instead just to shake your wrist. So if you were at a computer all day, actually shaking the wrist can feel really good. And let's do one more because this feels good in me. I don't know about you. Take your hands into fists and drop those fists down and just walk your fists from side to side. Good. Hands come down to the floor beside your hips. Keep your right hand down on the floor and slide your right hand away as you imprint both sit bones into the floor. With an extended or bent upper arm, can you start to lean over to the right? Look down, take a breath into the left side of your body and sink a little deeper as you exhale. That's it. Inhale, come back up. You're taking a lateral stretch to the other side. So go as deep or as shallow as it feels good in your body. Inhale here and exhale. Nice job. Pull it back through center. Take your shoulders, roll them up and back. 3 big shoulder rolls in each direction. Really good work. And then release all of that and come down onto all fours. And come down onto all fours. Take your hands under your shoulders. Take your hips above your knees. Cat-cow. Take a big breath in. Dump your belly down. Roll your shoulder blades back. In fact, plug them in towards one another. Lift your heart and chest up. And with an exhale, puff your belly button towards your spine. You're going into spinal flexion only to a place where it feels safe in your body. So that might look like neutral for some of you. It might look like a really big rounded spine. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You're just moving in a way that's good for your body. Drop your belly down, lift your heart and chest up, and then round into the upper back. Keep moving through these spinal undulations, really flossing out any discomfort or tension in your spine. Looks good. Breathing in and out through your nose as you do this. And noticing your pace. So catching yourself if you're moving quickly to do the pose and not noticing the sensations, and then really slowing it down, like you're putting yourself on a slow motion track of a video. Good. Collect your body back at neutral. Your tailbone's dipping down, belly button is strong. Spread the fingers on your left hand really wide as you pick your right arm up and stretch it forward. Again, that elbow can be bent. Kick your left leg back behind you, toes facing down. Pull your belly button into your spine, puff between your shoulder blades, and hold here, breathing in for a count of 5, 4. Engage your glutes, your quads for 2, and 1. Release that hand and knee, straight away pick up the opposite limbs. We're really, really slowly getting into this shape so that it feels sustainable. Your belly button pulls in, your glutes hug towards one another, shoulders are lifting, heart is open. And maybe you pick that back heel up a titch higher. Maybe you look forward. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Release the hands down, take the knees wide. Bring your big toes to touch and melt your hips down towards your heels as you stretch your arms forward. Fingers can be dipping into the floor, arms in full extension, or you could bend at your elbows. Breathe here in child's pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walk your hands over towards the right. Push the floor away. Breathe into the right side of your body and then fall down a little deeper towards the floor. So you're really activating that lateral line, getting a big side body stretch here. 5 breaths here. Slowly moving, almost like you're moving through molasses. Can you walk your hands over to the other side? Find that depth of the stretch that feels good in your body. And just marinate there. So let your torso, your head, your neck, especially your jaw relax. The jaw will clench, particularly if it hasn't done yoga in a while. Breathe here. Good. Drift your body back through center. Pull yourself back up onto all fours and take your hands a whole footprint forward. Step your hands forward a whole footprint. Neutralize your spine. Maybe there's a little round in it. And now move both of your hips, just your hips over towards the right. Before you snuggle them back down towards your heels, take a big half circle over towards the left and pull yourself back up through center. So your spine stays relatively neutral this whole time as you shift your torso, your hips, and your thighs around in this great circular motion. Take that in the opposite direction. And maybe add a little bit into it. So you might Tuck your chin in, puff between your shoulder blades, bend into your arms. The movement might become more dynamic or not, and that's okay too. And now walk your hands back towards your heels. You're bent into the knees. Hips are on top of your heels. Mindful of any knee issues here, you can tuck a blanket beneath. Lean back and walk your hands behind you with your fingers facing in. Your fingers are facing in. Push your palms into the floor, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart and chest up. Breathe in here. Exhale, soften. So you'll feel the work in your wrists and your shoulders, but it can travel down the chest towards the front of your thighs too. And to get there, the work is to pull your pubic bone up, tailbone comes down. Perhaps, if it feels safe, you can come onto your elbows. And some bodies might even take the top of the head down to the floor. Take a few breaths here. There's extension in the spine now. A little bit of pressure in the ankle joints. And usually quite a bit of pressure in the knee joints. So we'll walk out nice and slow. Take your hands forward, set your palms strong, and the opposing action here, you can fiddle with your feet a bit, would be to take downward dog. So as many moments and breaths as you need to pulse your body up into a downward facing dog shape. And here we are again with a neutral spine. So it's on an angle, it's in that deep triangle shape, but it's still neutral. And stay here in your downward facing dog for 5 deep breaths. Child's pose is a great alternative whenever downward facing dog doesn't feel nice. Wherever you are, take a big breath in and exhale. Good. Bend into your knees, drop your knees back down onto the floor, and step your right foot between your hands. If you have a little blanket or cushion, you can put that onto your left knee. Tiptoe your right foot forward, sink your pelvis forward, and set your right knee above your right ankle. And now activate the muscles of your legs. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Take your hands, interlace your hands, and push down on that right thigh. And just like you did in hero pose that we just did, you're working through the front line of the hip. So you're opening at the hip joint here. When we sit, we create flexion or compression. So if you sit a lot, this work on your left side is brilliant right now. Your hands can stay here. Or if you really zip the inner thighs up, you might take the arms up to this goalpost shape or maybe all the way up into extension. But as you do that, can you ground through your right foot, scissor your inner thighs together, and now find big breaths in through your nose. Exhale out through your nose or through your mouth. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. First, bring your hands to your heart. And now take your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Push down into the top of your left foot. Roll your right ribs up. And if it feels okay, take your right arm up. Your gaze can be down, out in front, or up. Big breath comes in here. Exhale, nice work. Take both hands to the inside of that right foot. Lean your hips back, lengthen your right leg, and bring your right toes to face up. Your right toes are facing up. Plug your right hip back, lengthen through your spine. By any amount, can you fold forward and sink into that big hamstring stretch? Starting to evaluate the tension on the back line of your leg, which starts in your feet, runs up your hamstring, right up your spine into your cervical spine and your neck. There's one big line of fascia here. Slowly come forward again. Take both hands to the inside of that right foot, flex your back foot, and step back to downward dog or child's pose. Take a big breath in. Exhale here.
Well, look forward, step your left foot between your hands and lower your right knee down. Same thing on the other side. So no surprises here, you know where you're headed. Pad the knee if you need to. And the real work is just spending time in shapes with all that muscular engagement. So go ahead and scissor your inner thighs together. Walk your hands up onto that left thigh as you lean your pelvis forward. Rotate your torso forward, reach your arms up either to goal post or all the way up into extension. And the entire 5 breaths you're sitting here in this shape, your legs are on fire, these muscles are active. If someone came and tried to push you over, they couldn't because you were like solid statue stone right now. Good, take one more breath in. And with the exhale, take your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Roll your left ribs up. Take your left arm up. It could stay on your hip if that's too much rotation, but you're still scissoring your thighs in. Good, look up, maybe look down. And just notice all of these tiny, tiny changes that are happening every time you move the body dynamically. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take an hour of yoga. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. Good, bring that left hand down to the inside of your left foot or the outside, either works. Lean back and lift your left toes up as you fold forward over that left leg. And if spinal flexion doesn't work for you, your spine stays extended, those left toes stay active, and they really pull in. One more breath in here. Exhale, rock your weight forward carefully. Both hands come to the inside of that left foot. You slide your left leg up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale here. Inhale, shuffle your weight forward to a high plank. Drop your knees, drop your chest, drop your chin. Your bum is still lifted like a dog wag its tail here. And then finally collapse everything down and take your hands outside of your yoga mat. All 10 fingers pinched into the floor, elbows surfing up. Inhale, with your shoulders back, lift up by any amount. Now we're talking about big spinal extension. Exhale, lower back down. Keep lifting and lowering. Those spinal undulations like cat-cow come back here. And you might get a little groovy and turn your gaze over one shoulder. If you decide to do that, do it on the other side too. Take one more undulation up and down, right in center. Good. Plant your palms, flex your feet. Either push yourself to all fours or to high plank, downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way back towards your feet, to the back of your yoga mat, all the way back, all the way back. And when you get here, wrap your peace and love fingers around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Either stay long or fold your torso down towards your thighs. Your head will hang super heavy here. Rocking it from side to side can feel nice. Bend into your knees, tuck your chin in towards your chest, and slowly lift all the way up to standing. Pause in neutral. Turn your palms to face forward, collect your breath. Remember your intention of balance. Open your eyes, inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Exhale to lower your hands to your heart. Inhale, scoop both arms up. Exhale, lower your hands to your heart. One more time, inhale, reach both arms up. And this time, as you lower your hands down, place them onto your shoulders and take one big roll in one direction, one big circle in the opposite direction. Good. Relax your hands alongside your body, lift your shoulders up, just crunch them towards your ears, and then lower them back down. One more time, reach your shoulders up and lower them back down. And now keep the long, strong legs and torso and chest steady, just like they are. Take your left hand down the left side of your body. I'll mirror you, sorry. Left hand down the left side of your body and just start to roll over towards the left. Right away, can you pick your pubic bone up, draw your tailbone down so your bum gets really strong, your quads are strong. And if you'd like to add more, you could take the opposite arm up overhead. Maybe the palm sits on the back of your head. And you know what? It feels really good if you push your head into your palm here. Breathe right into those side ribs. You might feel that activation spot and breathe in a way that tries to push the skin out. Good. Engage your core, pull it back through center, reset here, just wiggle, jiggle. And the other side. So start by just sliding the hand down. This is first base in this pose. Let's call it first base. You can stay there. You might take the opposite arm up, placing the hand on the back of the head, letting the head push the hand back. You're zipping up that whole pelvic region. And then third base is the arm stretching all the way up overhead. But just like our parents probably taught us, third base is not always the best. So listen to your body, figure out what makes you feel safe and happy, and go there and breathe there. Good, come back through center. Take your hands out beside you, step your feet a little bit wider, and just rock around, swapping your arms along the body. So the spine is neutral, but there's a little twist, a little arm and shoulder release here. You can lift the arms up, tapping opposite shoulders if you like. Good. And then we'll go from this movement to a movement in the opposite direction. Come to stillness, take a deep breath in. Exhale. Good. Can you reach your left arm up towards the sky? Bend at the elbow as much as you need to. And stabilize through the left foot. Now bend into your right knee. Bend into your right knee. Good. Bend into your left elbow and see if you can tap those two limbs together. Extend it back out. There. You're doing bird dog from standing. So there's forced balance here, which means your gaze is set on something still. Your glutes are working, your hip flexors are working. That's it. One more time. Beautiful. Switch sides. So your right arm comes up, bend into your left leg. And just tease out this pose. Tease out this pose a little, working deep spiral lines of fascia now. Challenging your core and your brain to keep you balanced. One more. And release. Palms come alongside your body. Take a big step to the top of your yoga mat if you're still near the back. And when you get there, inhale, stretch both arms up. Exhale, bend at your knees. Bend at your knees and stretch your arms out in front. You're in chair posing. A hold here. This is called fierce pose. So be fierce, be athletic in this shape. I try to always think when I'm practicing shapes like this, plank pose, big deep lunges, chair pose, that this is an athletic yoga pose. So your muscles are engaged and your energy is athletic. Take one more breath in here. Now as you exhale, straighten your legs. Either keep your spine straight or fold and round as you come down towards the floor. The inhale lengthens the spine out again. And nice and slow, plant your palms. Find your way back either into a high plank, a low plank with your knees on the floor, or if you're dealing with wrist issues, you can come down onto your elbows. And now there's some time just to play with strength. So whichever plank variation you chose, you come into that variation and we breathe for 10, 9, this is athletic, find that athleticism, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Drop the knees if they're not already there. Drop the tops of your feet, bend into your elbows and lower to your tummy.
And now the top of your head comes to the floor. Reach your arms back behind you. Go ahead and interlace your hands if that's available to you. Plug your shoulder blades in. This is a back bend. This can be your pose. Alternatively, with an exhale, you can start to lift everything up for full locust pose. Leveling up here, you might bend into your knees, reach back, grab your ankles or your feet for upward bow pose. All these shapes are doing the same thing, just to different levels of intensity. Back bending, quad stretching, glute strengthening. One more breath in wherever you've landed. Exhale, release. Lower your right cheek to the floor, close your eyes, and just jiggle, jiggle your bum from side to side. Nice work. Place your hands on the floor, work your way up either to high plank, to downward dog, or into a child's pose. 5 deep breaths here. And from downward facing dog, come here if you're not here already. Take your right foot and step your right foot between your hands. Scissor your thighs together, but stay on the ball of your left foot. Interlace your fingers, place them down on your right thigh. Think about really dragging your right hip back, left hip forward. Now elevate your torso, so your shoulders are right above your hips. And either bring your hands to your heart, take them out to the side, or stretch them all the way up. And I'll give you 2 choices here. So if you're feeling this athletic variation of the practice, you can spend your breaths here pulsing. So bending that back knee to hover above the floor and then extending it back out. Alternatively, just stay and work on stillness and stability in the pose. This is absolutely a balancing pose. It's a super challenging balancing pose if you're doing the muscular pulsations up and down with that back leg. Staying here for 5, 4, you've got this, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Take your hands to your heart. Listen carefully. Lean forward. Place your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand either to your right hip or to the sky. Roll your right ribs up. Big breath comes in. And now as you exhale, take your right hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. The exhale, slide your left foot forward between your hands. Scissor your thighs together and plant your interlaced hands onto that left thigh. Take your time to get here. Work on that lower body stability. When you're ready, pull the torso back so it's set and stacked. Open your arms wide, take them to your heart or stretch them right up to the sky. And choose the depth of your pose. You might start to bend and extend that right leg. Working extension on the hip joint, muscles in the quad. If you're doing that bending and extending, your left leg is trying really hard to stay still. Maybe you're still yourself. 5 more breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands to your heart. Slowly dip your heart forward. Place your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Roll open towards the left. Reach your left arm up or host it right here on the side of your hip. And now can you plug your inner thighs together? Bend deeper into your left knee. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale, plant both of your hands down. Step to the top of your yoga mat, to the top. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold or stay with your spine extended. Bend deep into your knees and reach your arms forward. Find that chair pose, that fierce athletic chair pose. And sit down a little lower. Your hands can hover at your heart if that feels better. And maybe you even focus on pushing your palms towards one another.
Breathing here. 4, 5. Tailbone drags down, pubic bone up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press into your legs, come up to stand. Take your hands alongside your body. Just close your eyes. Recalibrate, 5 breaths here. Mountain pose. Good, lean the weight into your right foot, open your eyes, bend into your left knee, and take that left foot, whoops, anywhere along your standing leg, just not right against the inner knee joint. Take your hands together, lift your heart into your hands. This is your peak pose, so all of the balancing work, all of the glute work was prepped for this little dance. You can stay here or open your arms to that goalpost shape. Maybe they open all the way wide. Find your breath, set your gaze on something completely still. And now turn that leg back in through center. Lean forward, take your arms back behind you, kick your leg back, squeeze your bum cheeks in towards one another, and find warrior 3. 5 long, slow breaths here. Strong core and a steady gaze. Cautiously pull out of the pose. Set your feet flat beside each other. Turn your palms open. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Out through your mouth. Other side. Blink, open your eyes, bend into your right knee. Plug that foot into your standing leg. Connect your hands at your heart. And fiercely push your foot into your leg into your foot. That will actually magnetize everything to your center. Yeah. Feels different, right? Maybe take your arms out to the side. You might reach them all the way up. And now you're just playing with stability, playing with balance. Bring that knee forward, and as you kick it back, lean your torso forward. Reach your arms back behind you. Make sure that your back toes are facing down, that your back hips are level. I could balance a tray of delicious wine glasses on them. Delicious wine in glasses. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Pull it all back through center, right away, mountain pose. Feel that groundedness. Big breath in. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Nice job. Take your hands together, your heart. Step your feet just beyond hip distance apart. Toes point out. And then really slowly sit all the way down into your malasana, your squat pose. Push your elbows into your thighs into your elbows. Keep your chest lifted. 5 little breaths here. Spine is long. Glue your hands together. Nice work. And then take your hands down. Roll onto your hips. And extend the legs right out in front. Your feet are flexed, toes facing up. Reach your arms up, inhale. Plug your belly button into your spine. And this is not a forward fold. This is a hamstring stretch. So take your hands down. Keep your spine long. Pull your belly button in. And then think about driving your kneecaps towards your hips. Roll your shoulders back. You can start to lean in, but your spine never goes into flexion. So it's not this today. It's an extension of the spine triggering a stretch of your hamstrings. Good. One more breath in and out here. Retreat back through center, pick up your left leg and step your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Push your right big toe forward, take your left hand behind you, mindful of your spine as you come into a deeper twist now. Place your right elbow across your left thigh, create a big stop sign with that right palm, and by any amount, start to rotate towards the left, towards the back of your mat. Use your breath to create more space here. It gets really compressed and squishy. Push your right thigh down into your mat. Yeah, push your left foot down into your mat. Rotate a bit deeper still. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, unravel. Big counter twist to the other side. And pull back up through center. Pick up that left leg like it's a precious something. Extend it back down. Bend into your right knee. And step your foot over to the other side. Good. Grounding through the hips. Your right hand comes back behind you. Reach your left arm up. Create a big palm with that hand before you step the left elbow across the right thigh. And now you start to travel into rotation. Play with little tiny movements and shifts in this pose. Ground through your left thigh. Pull your left toes back towards your face. Lengthen through your spine. Twist even deeper and just breathe. Big full breaths. Perfect. Unravel and take it over to the other side. Back to neutral, both legs stretch out. Come on down to your back. This is a good time to put on socks because we'll get to Shavasana. Not quite yet, but we will get there. When you come into your back, you can hug your knees into your chest and either stay here, just rocking along your lumbar spine, or hug your head in towards your knees for that little forward fold. Now place your right foot down on the floor. Take your left ankle across your right thigh. Either stay here, interlace your hands behind your right thigh, or interlace your hands in front of your right shin. Tuck your chin to your chest. Find the sweet spot. So move really, really slowly in the shape and see if you can find the place that this feels right. It's somewhere there. Big breaths. Good. Unwrap those legs. Place both feet flat on the floor. Just sweep your knees left to right like windshield wipers. Connect back at neutral and take your right ankle across your left thigh. Sweep the hands behind the thigh, maybe in front of the shin. Close your eyes and really just drop into sensation here. So it never should hurt. There should never be pain in yoga. But there's sensation, there's something. Feel it, breathe into it. Perfect. Unwrap those legs. Plant your feet flat on the floor. Let's push into our feet to reach our pelvis up. There's the choice to interlace your hands behind your back. Press your pinky edge sides of your fingers down. Tuck your chin into your chest. Squeeze your glutes and lift the pelvis higher. There's the option to take your hands right to your lower back. Maybe even come up onto your tippy toes. Good. Let's release vertebrae by vertebrae back down to the earth. Pause here. Take a breath in.
And a breath out. Slide the soles of your feet together. Let your knees flop out to either side. You're in butterfly or Baddha Konasana. If you have blocks or blankets, you could set them under your thighs for a little support here. Go ahead and take your hands onto your belly. And without touching your face, can you inhale through your left nostril for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath at the top. Exhale through your right nostril for 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. Exhale left. Keep going, alternate nostril breath. No hands, mom style. 1 more minute here. When you're ready, you can flatten your body down onto your yoga mat, making any final adjustments so that Shavasana feels a little bit like slipping in to a hot bath on a cold, cold day. And when you get to Shavasana, if your lower back hurts, you can keep your knees bent. Turn your palms to face up. Close your eyes. And just let all of those movements and breaths settle in. They'll bring you back to balance. I'll pull you out of Shavasana in just a few minutes' time. Until then, enjoy. If this feels like a good place for you to be, just close your iPad, phone, your laptop, your watch, whatever you're participating on, and linger here, fall asleep here. Otherwise, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rock your head side to side, maybe take a big yawn. And as you take your next breath in, stretch both arms way, way up overhead. Sigh out through your mouth as you let them fall back down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And curl over onto the right side of your body at your own pace. Work your way back up to a cross-legged seat. And let your hands grace one another at your heart center when you get there.
Remember your intention, what it is that you can do or undo to find balance. Take a big breath in, swallow that intention up, and imagine it just moving through your whole body, from your brain to your muscles, to your tissues, all the way down to your toes, imprinting the intention. And bow your head into your hands. Thank yourself for practice. Thank you, each of you, for showing up. Namaste.